What happens when two people meet at a young age, grow up in the spotlight together, and somehow become each other's safest place? That is the question fans keep asking when it comes to Tom Holland and Zendaya. Their relationship has always attracted enormous attention, but some of their most interesting moments are not the huge red carpet appearances. Instead, it is the little comments, playful jokes, and emotional answers that seem to reveal just how deeply connected they have become. During a recent conversation, Zendaya was asked a surprisingly simple question. Who was the last person she had FaceTimed? Her answer immediately caught attention. Tom. And the reason made the moment even sweeter. Tom was preparing to board a plane, and although he could not make that particular premiere because of his Spider-Man commitments, Zendaya explained that he would be present at the other events. She then sent him a quick, affectionate message. "Love you, Tommy." It was brief, but fans instantly picked up on the warmth behind it. For a couple who have spent years trying to protect their private lives, moments like this can feel surprisingly personal. There was no huge announcement, no dramatic declaration, and no attempt to turn the moment into a spectacle. It was simply Zendaya talking about the person she loves. And then, the conversation took an even more interesting turn. Zendaya was asked what couples should talk about before getting married, especially now that she has experienced marriage herself. Instead of giving a long, carefully prepared answer, she laughed. That reaction alone was enough to make everyone curious. Marriage is obviously a huge life decision, and for celebrities who live under constant public attention, it comes with an entirely different set of challenges. Privacy, schedules, careers, family, travel, and the pressure of being constantly watched can all affect a relationship. But perhaps the most revealing part of Zendaya's comments was how naturally she spoke about the person she has grown up with. She explained that she feels incredibly fortunate to have grown alongside someone she loves. They met when they were teenagers, and since then, they have experienced an enormous amount of change together. That is what makes their story different from a typical Hollywood romance. They did not meet as two fully established adults with completely separate lives. They met young, they worked together, they became friends, they watched each other grow, and eventually that friendship developed into something much deeper. Zendaya described the experience of growing up with someone she loves as something incredibly meaningful. Because people change, they mature, their careers evolve, their priorities shift. And yet, through all of those changes, there can still be a special connection with someone who has known you since the beginning. That sense of familiarity seems to be one of the strongest themes in Tom and Zendaya's relationship. Zendaya has also talked about the feeling of knowing when someone is truly your person. And her description was surprisingly simple. She said she does not feel nervous around that person. Instead, she feels peaceful, calm, safe. That might sound like a small thing, but in a relationship surrounded by cameras, interviews, rumors, and public expectations, that kind of emotional safety can be incredibly important. Imagine living a life where almost every public appearance can become a headline. Imagine strangers analyzing your expressions, your body language, your clothes, and even the smallest interaction with your partner. In that kind of environment, having someone who makes you feel relaxed instead of more anxious could mean everything. Zendaya explained that she actually feels more nervous when she is away from her person than when she is with them. That statement says a lot. For her, love does not seem to be about constantly feeling butterflies or being overwhelmed by excitement. It is about feeling at home. And that is perhaps one of the most mature things about their relationship. Of course, their playful side is still very much alive. During the conversation, Zendaya was asked questions about Tom, including some that were clearly designed to put her on the spot. One question involved his full name. And suddenly, things became hilarious. Zendaya admitted that Tom has a middle name and multiple parts to his full name, and she jokingly struggled to remember every detail. The moment turned into laughter rather than embarrassment. That kind of playful interaction is another reason fans find them so relatable. Despite their enormous fame, they can still tease each other and laugh about the little things. Then came another topic that has become impossible to ignore: the fake wedding photos circulating online. Zendaya revealed that she has actually encountered people who believed AI-generated images of her and Tom were real. Imagine being out in public and having someone congratulate you on your wedding, only for you to realize they are talking about a completely artificial image. Zendaya reportedly had to explain that the pictures were AI-generated and not real wedding photographs. The situation may sound funny, but it also highlights how intense public fascination with their relationship has become. Fans want to see them together so badly that realistic-looking AI images can sometimes convince people that an event actually happened. And that is where things get complicated. The internet has become incredibly powerful, creating imaginary versions of celebrities' lives. One fake image can spread across social media within minutes. Suddenly, people begin discussing it as though it were confirmed. For Tom and Zendaya, this is especially relevant because their relationship has always been surrounded by speculation. Their private life has become such a popular subject that even fictional or AI-generated moments can attract massive attention. But while fans speculate about weddings and marriage, the couple themselves have continued to keep much of their personal life away from the public. That privacy appears to be intentional. They may share small moments, but they rarely provide the public with a complete picture of their relationship. And perhaps that is exactly why every little comment feels so significant. Another fascinating part of the conversation was the inevitable Spider-Man discussion. Tom Holland and Zendaya are forever connected to the Spider-Man films. For Tom, the role changed his career completely. For Zendaya, the films became an important part of her own journey, and of course, an important part of their shared story. Zendaya spoke warmly about how significant Spider-Man has been in their lives. She essentially described it as something they grew up doing together. They were young when they entered that world, and over the years, they watched their careers and lives evolve. That makes the franchise more than just a collection of movies. It represents a period of their lives. It represents friendship, growth, success, and memories they experienced together. Zendaya even praised Tom as an incredible Spider-Man. And while she admitted that she might be biased, her admiration was obvious. That kind of support is something fans have noticed for years. She does not simply talk about Tom as her partner. She also seems genuinely proud of him as an actor. And that distinction matters. A healthy relationship is not only about romantic feelings. It is also about respecting what the other person does, celebrating their achievements, and supporting their ambitions. Tom has similarly spoken highly of Zendaya throughout their years together. The mutual admiration between them has become one of the defining features of their public relationship. But perhaps the most interesting part of the conversation came when Zendaya talked about how difficult dating can be when you are famous. She admitted that she has not gone on many traditional dates. And honestly, that makes sense. Dating, as one of the world's most recognizable young actresses, is not exactly normal. A simple dinner can become a photographed event. A private outing can become a social media discussion. When people talk about Tom Holland and Zendaya, the conversation almost always turns toward romance. Are they together? Are they married? What happens next? Will they eventually have a wedding? But underneath all those questions is something much more interesting: the relationship itself. Because the story fans have watched develop over the years is not simply about two famous actors falling in love. It is about two people who appear to have built their relationship around friendship, trust, familiarity, and mutual support. That becomes especially important when you consider how young they were when they first met. At that stage of life, neither of them could have known exactly where their careers would take them. They were young actors, stepping into one of the biggest superhero franchises in the world. Suddenly, their lives were changing. They were traveling, filming, attending premieres, meeting fans, giving interviews, and constantly being photographed. Yet somewhere in the middle of all of that, a friendship developed. And over time, that friendship became something more. This is what makes Zendaya's comments about feeling peaceful around her person so meaningful. There is a major difference between being excited about someone and feeling safe with someone. Excitement can come and go, but emotional safety can become the foundation of a lasting relationship. When Zendaya describes being calmer with her person than when she is away from them, it suggests that their bond is not based purely on the excitement of romance. It is based on familiarity, trust, comfort, and the knowledge that the other person understands you. That is particularly valuable when your life is anything but ordinary. Tom and Zendaya have careers that demand constant attention. They have to travel. They have to promote movies. They have to work with different people. They have to manage enormous expectations. And they have to do all of this while millions of people are interested in their personal lives. That is a lot of pressure for any relationship. Yet their connection seems to have survived years of that attention. Of course, that does not mean everything is perfect. No relationship is. But the fact that they continue to speak positively about each other suggests that their bond has a strong foundation. Their humor is also important. During the conversation, Zendaya joked about Tom's British accent and the little phrases he uses. She teased him about saying certain words in a very British way. It sounds like a tiny detail, but moments like this can reveal how well two people know each other. You do not notice someone's small habits unless you spend a lot of time around them. You do not memorize their favorite expressions unless they have become part of your everyday life. And you certainly do not tease someone about those habits unless you are comfortable enough to do it. That playful familiarity seems to be a major part of their dynamic. They can be glamorous celebrities on a red carpet one minute and two people joking about pronunciation the next. That contrast makes their relationship feel more human. Then there is Spider-Man. For many fans, Spider-Man is where the entire story began. Tom became Peter Parker. Zendaya became MJ. And the chemistry between them became one of the most talked about aspects of the franchise. But for the two actors themselves, those movies represent something much bigger. They represent their youth, their early careers, their friendship, and the years they spent growing up together. Zendaya has described the Spider-Man films as a huge part of their story. That is a powerful statement. Because when you spend your teenage years and early adulthood working on something with another person, those memories become deeply connected to them. Every premiere reminds you of where you started. Every reunion brings back memories. Every new Spider-Man project becomes another chapter in a story that began years ago. That is why Tom's return as Spider-Man carries emotional significance beyond the superhero character. And Zendaya's support for him reflects how proud she appears to be of the work he has done. She has repeatedly made it clear that she believes he is an excellent Spider-Man. Again, she can joke that she is biased. But there is also genuine admiration behind those comments. And admiration can be one of the strongest ingredients in a relationship. When you genuinely respect the person you love, you do not just celebrate who they are privately. You also celebrate what they accomplish publicly. That seems to be something Tom and Zendaya have done for each other. But perhaps the most complicated part of their story is the public's obsession with their private life. The AI wedding photos are a perfect example. People became so convinced by realistic-looking images that Zendaya encountered strangers believing she had already had a wedding. Think about how strange that must feel. You are simply living your life, And suddenly someone approaches you believing they have seen photographs from one of the biggest moments of your life. Except those photographs never happened. They were generated by artificial intelligence. The situation is almost funny, but it also shows how difficult privacy can be for famous couples. The public wants answers. Fans want confirmation. Social media wants content. And every rumor creates another wave of attention. Yet Tom and Zendaya have generally been careful about what they reveal. They do not seem interested in turning their relationship into a reality show. Instead, they give people small glimpses. A comment here, a joke there, a supportive statement, a public appearance. And sometimes, those tiny moments reveal more than a long interview ever could. Their approach also explains why marriage remains such a fascinating subject. For celebrities, marriage can become a public event before it even happens. People speculate about venues, dresses, rings, dates, guests, photographs, and sometimes even create fake images. But for the people actually involved, marriage is much more serious. It is about deciding to build a life together. A casual interaction can become a rumor. But Zendaya also explained that there was another reason she did not have much experience with conventional dating. She met her person when she was young. That changed everything. Instead of meeting someone as a stranger and slowly discovering who they were through traditional dates, Tom and Zendaya already had years of friendship and shared experiences. They knew each other. They had worked together. They had seen each other through major moments in their careers. So when their relationship eventually became romantic, it was not simply two strangers meeting and deciding whether they were compatible. It was two people who already had a foundation. That foundation was friendship. And perhaps that is one of the biggest reasons their relationship has remained so fascinating to fans. Their story was not built overnight. It developed over time. From teenagers working on Spider-Man to adults navigating enormous careers, their journey has unfolded alongside their personal growth. And when Zendaya talks about feeling safe, peaceful, and comfortable with her person, it becomes easier to understand why their relationship seems so meaningful to her. The Hollywood spotlight may constantly change. Their careers may continue to evolve. Their lives may become busier and more complicated. But the foundation of knowing someone for years can remain incredibly powerful. And that may be the real story behind Tom Holland and Zendaya. Not just the red carpets. Not just the romantic moments. Not just the marriage rumors. But two people who met young, became close friends, grew together, and eventually discovered that the person standing beside them had become one of the most important people in their lives. It is about understanding each other's goals. It is about communicating. It is about knowing how to handle disagreements. It is about protecting the relationship when the outside world becomes overwhelming. And Zendaya's comments about feeling safe and peaceful with her person may actually speak to those deeper qualities. The most important part of marriage may not be the ceremony. It may be knowing that when the cameras are gone, you still want that person beside you. That you can laugh together. That you can be quiet together. That you can trust each other. That you can grow without growing apart. Tom and Zendaya have already experienced something similar through the years. They have watched each other change. They have grown from teenagers into adults. Their careers have expanded dramatically. Their responsibilities have changed. And yet the connection appears to have remained. That does not mean they have stayed exactly the same. In fact, the opposite is probably true. They have changed enormously. But perhaps the strength of their bond comes from allowing each other to change. A lasting relationship cannot depend on someone remaining the person they were at 19. People evolve. Dreams change. Priorities change. Careers change. The challenge is growing together, rather than growing in completely different directions. And that is what makes their story so compelling. They have had the rare opportunity to know each other across multiple stages of life. They know each other's younger versions. They have experienced professional highs together. They have seen the pressures that come with fame. And they have continued to support each other. So when Zendaya says she feels like she knows her person deeply because they have grown up together, that statement carries enormous weight. It is not simply about romance. It is about history. And history can create a kind of connection that is difficult to replace. At the end of the day, fans may continue debating whether Tom and Zendaya are secretly married, planning a wedding, or simply enjoying their lives privately. The internet will continue creating theories. AI will continue creating fake photographs. Social media will continue analyzing every interaction. But the most meaningful details may actually be the simplest ones. Zendaya saying, "Love you, Tommy." Zendaya proudly supporting Tom's Spider-Man journey. The two of them joking about each other's habits. The comfort they seem to share. And the idea that the person who started as a co-star eventually became a best friend and potentially a lifelong partner. That is what makes their relationship so captivating. It is not just about Hollywood glamour. It is about growing up with someone, knowing them deeply, feeling safe with them, and finding a person who can be both your love and your best friend. Maybe that is why fans continue to root for Tom Holland and Zendaya. Because underneath all the fame, the premieres, the superhero movies, and the endless rumors, their story represents something surprisingly simple. Two people met young. They became friends. They grew together. And somewhere along the way, they discovered that the person standing beside them might also be the person they wanted beside them for the rest of their lives. And perhaps that is the most beautiful part of their story. Not what the internet thinks is happening. Not what AI can create. Not what rumors claim. But the genuine connection they have chosen to protect from the world. Because sometimes the strongest relationships are not the ones that reveal everything. They are the ones where two people already know what they mean to each other, even when nobody else knows the full story.